Okay, chapter 20, The Great Gum Machine. Here we go. Mr. Wonka led the party over to a gigantic machine that stood in the very center of the inventing room. It was a mountain of gleaming metal that towered high above the children and their parents, and out of the very top there was sprouted hundreds and hundreds of thin glass tubes. Wow. And they all curled downward, and they came together in a bunch and hung suspended over the enormous round tub as a big bath. So it was like a big bathtub. Here we go, cried Mr. Wonka, and he pressed 3 different buttons on the side of the machine. A second later, a mighty rumbling sound came from inside, and the whole machine began to shake most frighteningly. And steam began hissing out all over, and then suddenly the watchers noticed that runny stuff was pouring down in the insides of all the hundreds of little glass tubes and squirting out into great tubs below. And in every single tube, the runny stuff was not a different color. Was of a different color, so that all the colors of the rainbow, and many others as well, came sloshing and splashing into the tub. It was a lovely sight, and when the tub was nearly full, Mr. Wonka pressed another button, and immediately the runny stuff stopped running out of the tubes, and the rumbling sound disappeared, and a whizzing, whirling noise took its place, and then a giant whizzer started whizzing around inside the enormous tub, mixing it all up, the different colored liquids, and like an ice cream soda. Gradually, the mixture began to froth, and it became frothier and frothier, and it turned from blue to white to green to brown to yellow, and then back to blue again. Watch, said Mr. Wonka. Click went the machine, and the whizzer stopped whizzing, and now there came a sort of a sucking noise, and very quickly all the blue froth mixture in the huge basin was sucked back into the stomach of the machine, and in the moment of that silence, then a few queer rumblings were heard in the distance. Woo! The silence. Oh, it's just exciting. I can't wait. And then silence again. Then suddenly the machine let out a monstrous, mighty groan. And at the same moment, a tiny drawer no bigger than the drawer in a slot machine popped out the side of a machine, and in the drawer there lay something so small and thin and gray that everyone thought it must be a mistake. The thing looked like a little strip of gray cardboard. The children and their parents stared at the little gray strip lying there in the drawer. "You mean that's all?" said Mike TV, disgusted. "That's all," answered Mr. Wonka, gazing proudly at his result. "Don't you know what that is?" There was a pause. Then suddenly, Violet Beauregard, the goofy gum-chewing girl, let out a yell of excitement. "By gum, it's gum!" she shrieked. "It's a stick of chewing gum!" "Right you are," cried Mr. Wonka, slapping Violet hard on the back. "It's a stick of gum. It's a stick of the most amazing and fabulous and sensational gum in the whole world."